Hi students, friends, good morning to all. I welcome you all in this fluid mechanics lecture. So in last lecture, we have started this point, differential manometers, and we have discussed about how to derive an equation to find out the pressure difference between 2 points, right? So let us revise the few points about this, and then let's move ahead solving the problems from this differential manometer. So we have studied that the use of differential manometer. Who will tell me what is the use of differential manometer? Why it is different from the simple manometers? So we have seen the broad classification of manometers as simple manometers and differential manometers. Simple manometers are used for measurement of pressure at a single point, whereas the differential manometers are used for measurement of, yes, who will tell?
Difference of pressure between 2 points.
Correct. So differential manometers are used for measurement of pressure difference between 2 points. That 2 points, either they may be on the same pipe. Let us say this is one point on the same pipe, and this is another point on the same pipe. So these 2 points may be on the same pipe, or there may be two different pipes. Okay, the difference between 2 points. To measure this difference, P1 minus P2, here P1 minus P2, we take the help of differential manometers. Again, in differential manometers, we have seen there are two types of the differential manometers. One is U-tube differential manometers, and second one inverted U-tube differential manometers. And also we have discussed about uh, why these two are different and what was the necessity for construction or invention of inverted U-tube differential manometers. Right. So how we have evolved the equation for this, finding the pressure difference. Here we have applied the same principle. The notations are as usual. S1 is the specific gravity here. S2 is the specific gravity here. S3 is the S2 is the specific gravity here, and this specific gravity is considered as S3. No, yes, there is some mistake here. H3 is here, so S3 should be here, and then if it is S2, then it is, if it is H2, it is S2. So now here we applied the same fundamental concept logic that we have used for all types of manometers. That is, under equilibrium condition, the pressure head or pressure intensity in the left limb above the datum, it must be equal to the pressure head in the right limb above the datum. Okay, so under equilibrium we have equated these two. So what are the pressure intensities in the left limb, and what are the pressure intensity in the right limb above the datum? So we have represented it like this. Weight density, gamma 1 is the weight density of the liquid S1, liquid 1. Then gamma 2 is the weight density of, here we can say, manometric fluid, and gamma 3 is the weight density in the pipe B, liquid flowing through the pipe B. And we have equated that two intensities. Here, let pressure intensity at pipe 1, let it be represented by PA, and pressure intensity in pipe B, let it be represented by notation PB. And now here, what are the pressure intensities acting at this particular point? It is the summation of PA plus pressure intensity because of this column of the liquid, right? Which can be represented by letter gamma 1 H1, right? So on the other hand, on the right hand side here, what are the pressure intensities? Pressure intensity because of the pressure intensity inside the pipe PB plus pressure intensity because of the this column, and pressure intensity because of this column. So for the liquid 2, here we can write gamma 2 H2 plus gamma 3 H3. So these are the three pressure intensities acting here above the datum in the right limb, and there are two pressure intensities acting in the left limb above the datum. So we are interested in pressure difference, that is PA minus PB. So here we can write PA minus PB is equal to, taking this gamma 1 H1 on the RHS, here we get gamma 2 H2 plus gamma 3 H3 minus gamma 1 H1. So this was the equation that we have derived for finding the pressure difference between 2 points, point A and point B, right? The same equation, it can be derived by using another concept of pressure head. Okay, equating the pressure head in the left limb to the pressure head in the right limb. So pressure head in the left limb here, it is denoted by letter HA. Pressure head at the point B, it is HB. So equate that. HA plus here pressure head here in the because of this column, it will be H1 S1 is equal to HB minus plus it will be H2S2 plus H3S3, right? So again, taking this HB on the left hand side, HA minus HB is equal to H2S2 plus H3S3 minus H1S1. So here we got the pressure head difference. Okay, pressure head मतलब difference आपल्याला हा भेटला. Now what we are interested in pressure intensity, right? And we know that pressure intensity P is equal to, it is gamma H, right? And H is equal to, it is P by gamma. So replacing this HA and HB by P by gamma. So what we will get? I will rub this part here. So it is, we are doing quick revision about this. So instead of this HA, what I can write? I can write PA by gamma. Then here PA by gamma W minus PB by gamma W is equal to, this part will be as it is. So this gamma W is common. So we can write here PA minus PB divided by gamma W. So this gamma W, it can be taken on the RHS side, and we can write this equation as gamma W into H2S2 plus H3S3 minus H1S1, bracket complete. Right. Actually, this part is nothing but it is the HA minus HB, right? So instead of this writing this part, I can write here HA minus HB into gamma W. Okay. So therefore, PA minus PB is equal to what I can write, HA minus HB into gamma W. Okay. So either you can write this equation or you can use this equation to find out the PA minus PB. Okay. So you can, there are two formulas or two ways to solve the problem based upon this differential manometer. Similarly, we have derived the equation for inverted U-tube manometer. So we have discussed about what was the necessity of inventing the inverted U-tube manometer. Can anyone give the answer to this question? What was the necessity of inventing inverted U-tube manometer, differential manometer? What is the difference between these two manometers? Simple U-tube, this differential U-tube manometer and inverted U-tube manometer.
Accuracy.
Accuracy.
Low pressure.
Okay.
Low pressure measurement करू शकतो inverted.
Okay. Ajun, is there a difference in the manometric fluid?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
In U-tube differential manometer, high specific gravity fluid is used and inverted मध्ये low specific gravity liquid.
Okay. So I will make it somewhat more accurate, correct. In U-tube differential manometer, the manometric fluid is heavier than the fluid flowing through the pipe. Okay. आपण differential U-tube manometer बघितलं, त्याच्यामध्ये manometric fluid means the fluid which is present in the manometer, that is here generally HZ. It is heavier than the fluid flowing through the pipe, like water will be there. Okay. Here, contrary, in the inverted tube manometer, the manometric fluid which is present in the manometer, so it is lighter than the fluid flowing through the pipe. Okay, so like this we can say here it may be water. And what is the reason behind keeping or taking this manometric fluid lighter? So the reason is that if we take this fluid, manometric fluid, as a heavy fluid, it will not remain there. It will suddenly it will come down, and this fluid it will come up here, right? So that's why we need to. The main purpose of inventing this inverted tube manometer was to get more accurate reading for the smaller variation of the pressure, right? प्रेशर मध्ये थोडं जरी फ्लक्च्युएशन आलं तर त्या ठिकाणी आपल्याला व्हेरिएशन या ठिकाणी आपल्याला ऑब्झर्व झालं पाहिजे, रिडिंग दिसल्या पाहिजे. दॅट वॉज द मेन इंटेन्शन. If we use the mercury, you will not get much more reading variation because it is heavier and less sensitive to the small pressure difference. Okay, so oil which is light in nature, it is more sensitive for the small variation in the pressure, and whenever we require the more accurate reading, more small variation, if we are interested in to measure the small variation in the pressure difference, so at that time we should prefer this inverted tube manometer. So that was the reason behind inventing this inverted tube manometer. Now we have derived this equation also for the inverted tube manometer, how we can find out the pressure difference for this inverted tube manometer, right? So I will once again I will discuss here about the derivation part, because some of the students they may not have understood in the previous lecture what we have derived there. If you look at, so I had asked the question in the previous lecture that what kind of pressure you are going to measure, you will take here, positive or negative, and Mayur has given the correct answer for that question. Here, this is the H is the pressure pressure head in the pipe A, then HB is the pressure head in the pipe B, P is the pressure intensity in pipe A, PV is the pressure intensity in pipe B. Right. Now, according to our condition, that is under equilibrium condition, pressure head in the left limb above the datum, it should be equal to the pressure head in the left limb. But here, if you see, the datum is above the pressure, that column of the liquid, right? डेटमच वरती आहे. डेटम अगोदरच्या केसमध्ये खाली होता, पण हा इन्व्हर्टेड ट्यूब मॅनोमीटर आहे. सो डेटम हा वरती गेला आणि कॉलम ऑफ द लिक्विड इज त्याच्या खाली आहे. ओके, so instead of saying that above the datum, we should say here below the datum, right? Pressure head in the left limb below the datum, it must be equal to the pressure head in the right limb below the datum, right? And here the direction of the pressure, it is different. Okay, in case of inverted manometer, the direction of pressure intensity is PA, and the pressure intensity because of this column of liquid, it was same. This PA is, it was acting in downward direction here, and the pressure intensity because of this column, it was also acting in this downward direction. Similarly here also, this pressure PV, it was acting in downward direction, and this column it was acting in downward direction. But now here if you observe, this pressure PA, it is acting in this direction, in upward direction. This PV is also acting in upward direction, right? So what about this column? This column, as it has a tendency to act in downward direction because weight always acts in downward direction. So this column, its pressure intensity, that is gamma 1 H1, it will be acting in downward direction. This pressure intensity acting in downward direction. Again, this pressure intensity, it will act in downward direction. So here there is a conflict in the convention, sign convention. So we have to decide the proper signs and then we equate the equations, right? Let us consider the pressure intensity is acting in upward direction as a positive and the pressure intensity acting in downward direction as a negative. So now here you can write down the equation. So what are the pressure head, pressure intensity in the left limb at the datum? Okay, what are that? PA. So we have taken PA positive because it is acting in downward direction, And second pressure intensity, second is this pressure intensity because of this column. So it is acting in downward direction, it can be taken as negative. So gamma 1 H1 I can write. So only this much pressure intensities are there in the left limb. Now in the right limb, what are the pressure intensities at the datum? One is the PB. PB is acting in downward upward direction, so we can take it here positive. Second is the pressure intensity because of this column of the manometric fluid. So acting in downward direction, so we can take it here the negative, gamma 2 H2. Similarly, for the liquid 3, acting in downward direction, so we can write here gamma 3 EH3. So now here, taking this PB on the LHS and this gamma H1 on the RHS, I can write here PB minus PA minus PB is equal to gamma 1 H1. So as it is minus here, it will become plus here. Gamma 1 H1 minus gamma 2 H2 minus gamma 3 H3. So this is the equation that we have derived in the previous lecture. PA minus PB is equal to gamma 1 H1 minus gamma 2 H2 minus gamma 3 H3. The same equation it can be derived by using the pressure head law, that is HA and HB. So HA, it will be positive, minus H1 S1 is, it must be equal to HB minus H2 S2 minus H3 S3. So HA minus HB, HB will take here, H1 S1 I will take here, is equal to, I can write here S1 H1 H1 S1 minus H2 S2 minus H3 S3, right? So this equation we got there. So applying same thing here, if I want to find out what is the pressure intensity, what I can write, I will write this equation as PA upon gamma W minus PB upon gamma W is equal to this equation as it is. So here gamma W is common in the denominator, so I can write here PA minus PB divided by gamma W. And this gamma W, if I take here on the RHS side, I can write this equation as gamma W into, in bracket it will be H1 S1 minus H2 S2 minus H3 S3, right? So PA minus PB is equal to this equation. So this is nothing but it is HA minus HB. So I can write here gamma W into HA minus HB, right? So whatever the HA minus HB we are getting here by using this equation, just we have to multiply this HA minus HB by using this value gamma W, so that we will get here pressure intensities difference PA minus PB. Okay, so this way we have derived this equation for this inverted U-tube differential manometer also. So this much part we have studied in the previous lecture. So I think that no one has any doubt about this. Is there any doubt to anyone about this?
No, sir.
Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us move ahead to solve the problems here. Okay, right now theory part we have covered. Now let us solve few problems about this. Write on the problem. U-tube differential manometer containing mercury is used to measure. U-tube differential manometer containing mercury is used to measure the difference in pressure for two pipes A and B as shown in figure. Pipe A contains carbon tetrachloride of specific gravity 0.8. Pipe B contains oil of specific gravity 0.9. Find the pressure difference between 2 points. There are two different pipes containing two different liquids. In one pipe, there is a carbon tetrachloride having specific gravity 0.8, and in another pipe, there it contains oil of specific gravity 0.9, and they are connected by differential U-tube manometer. Okay, and here it is asked to find out what is the pressure difference between 2 points, point A and point B. So here, first of all, draw this diagram and then use the proper notation. For pipe A, you can use the notation 1, pipe B, you can use the notation 2, or you can use the notation A also, suffix A and suffix B, like HA, HB, like that. So it will be better to write 1 and 2, 3 notation. So it will have the uniformity in that, and it will be somewhat simpler to use that. So 1 notation for pipe A, 2 notation for the mercury, and 3 notation for the pipe B, right? So accordingly, write down the values of S1, S2, S3, and H1, H2, H3. You can use any one of the formula that suits for you, or which you may consider it as simple for you. Okay. Either go by the step 1 or method 1, or you can go use the method 2. You will get the same answer for this question. Or if you are interested, you can solve this problem by using both methods. So it is very necessary, very important. First of all, write down the proper notation and its value. H1 is equal to, now here, if you see there, the column in the left hand side, left limb, it is H1. So H1 will be is equal to 1.5 meter. Then we are using 2 notation for the manometric fluid. So H2 will be equal to 0.6. Then H3 is equal to 0.5. And specific gravity of the liquid in the pipe A, it is 0.8. Therefore, we can write here S1 is equal to 0.8. Then the fluid flowing present in the manometer, that is manometric fluid, it has the it is the mercury, and we know that the specific gravity of the mercury is 13.6. Therefore, we can write here S2 is equal to 13.6. And the liquid present in the pipe B, it is the oil having specific gravity 0.9. So here we can write S3 is equal to 0.9. Right. Now use the any one condition, under equilibrium condition, the pressure intensity or pressure head in the left limb, it must be equal to the pressure head or the pressure intensity in the left limb above the datum. But if you are using any one method, stick to that method, because using both methods, it will be somewhat difficult. If you use the single method, then you will become more proficient in that method, and you can solve. It will take less time, or if you do the practice by using only one method. Okay, so you will we will use. I will use here first method for the students who are using that that method, pressure intensity. Pressure head in the left limb above the datum. It must be equal to the pressure head in the right limb above the datum. Right, this is the datum line. So I can write here PA plus H1S1. What is H1S1 here? H1 is this 1.5. 1.5 multiplied by S1. S1 is the specific gravity. S1 0.8. Right? It must be equal to PB plus H2S2. What is H2? 0.6 into S2 is 13.6 plus then H3S3. What is H3? It is 0.5 into what is S3? 0.9. So you can write here, I will take the PB on the LHS, then PA minus PB, and take this value on the RHS. So directly you can do the calculation and put that values there. 0.06 into 13.6 plus 0.5 into 0.9 minus or one by one I will solve it to avoid your confusion. So this multiplication I got here the value as 8.16 plus, now I am multiplying 0.5 into 0.9 and I got 0.45 minus, so this multiplication of this value, that is 1.5 into 0.8, it has come 1.2. Okay, so I will write here 1.2. Now do the addition of these values. So 8.16 plus 0.45 minus 1.2, and I have got here the value 7.41 Newton per meter square. Has anyone got the answer? This answer or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They have got the same answer or a different value?
Same.
Okay. Those students who are using this method, is there any difficulty? Now, what we'll do, I will use another method. I will solve this problem by using another method. For understanding purpose, I will keep it this much open. Yes. So under equilibrium condition, pressure head in the left limb, it must be equal to the pressure head in the right limb, HA plus H1. H1 कितने है? First I will write down the formula. HA is equal to HA plus H1 S1 is equal to HB plus H2 S2 plus H3 S3, right? So HA minus HB is equal to H1 S1 minus H2, no, it will be H2 S2. H2 S2 plus H3 S3 minus H1 S1. This will be our formula. So HA minus HB is equal to, what is H2 S2? It is 0.6 into 13.6 plus H3. H3 is 0.5 into S3 is 0.9 minus H1 S1. It is 1.5 into 0.8, right? So what I will get here, 0.6 into 13.6. I think here we have written that values. No, it's gamma values are there. 1 minute. There is a mistake. Dear student friends, there is a mistake in the previous method. Those students who have solved the problem. So I also forward that. Whatever the answers we have got here, there is a blunder we have I have made here. See, in this formula, the formula is about gamma 1 H1, gamma 2 H2, right? But here I have taken only that S1 values, S1, S2, S3 values we have taken. So this is the wrong answer. We have not taken here the gamma values, gamma 1, gamma 2, gamma 3, right? So that correction we have to make here, gamma 1, gamma 2, gamma 3. So to use this method, PA minus PB method, we need to find out the gamma 1, gamma 2, gamma 3 values, right? That we have not found. Okay, directly we have taken the S1, S2, S3. So this will, in this way, you will get the wrong answer. This is the wrong answer. So I will make you clear. First of all, those students who have used this method, try to find out gamma 1, gamma 2, and gamma 3 values. Okay, and then go for that method. What is the value of gamma 1 here? Who will tell me how to find out that?
S1 into gamma W.
Correct. S1 into gamma W. Similarly, here S2 into gamma W. Similarly, here S3 into gamma W. So you will get gamma 1, gamma 2, gamma 3 values. Find out that. What is the value of S1? 0.8 into 9810. Here S2 is 13.6 into 9810. And here 0.9 into 9810. Okay. So do the calculation and find out the values. 9810 into 0.8 is equal to, it has come 7848, then 13.6. It is coming 1,33,416, and last year 0.9. So it has come 8,829. Has everyone got this? Unit will be Newton per meter cube, Newton per meter cube, Newton per meter cube, as these are the weight densities, right? Yes, anyone? Have you got these values?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
now use the formula PA minus PB is equal to, what is our formula? Gamma 2 H2 plus gamma 3 H3 minus gamma 1 H1. Put the values and find out the answer. Gamma 2 133,416 into H2, it is 0.6 plus gamma 3, it is 8829 into H3 is 0.5 minus gamma 17848 into H1 1.5, you will get 72,692. Correct. So Mayuri has got the same answer. 72,692.1. Okay. This will be the answer. Newton per meter square. Is anyone else have got the same answer? Put your answers in the chat box if you have got it. PA minus PB 72692.1. And now I will solve the same problem by using our other method. HA minus HB is equal to, what is the formula? H2S2 plus H3S3 minus H1S1. This was our formula. What is H1S1? H2S2. H2 is 0.6 into 13.6 plus 0.5 H3 into S3 0.9 minus H1 1.5 into 0.8, right? So solve it, you will get HA minus HB. Solve it and tell me the value.
7.42.
Okay, 0.6 into 13.6 plus 0.5 into 0.9 minus 1.5 into 0.8, 7.41. 41 meter of water.
चीनच्या हाताकडे एक माणूस असतं कामाला.
Ravi?
हो, सर बोलायचं.
Yes, anybody? Yes, 7.41. Mayuri also has got the same answer. Now, what is the formula to find out PA minus PB? PA minus PB is equal to, what is formula? HA minus HB multiplied by gamma W, right? So multiply this value by 9810, and you will get the same answer. Are you getting the same value? PA minus PB is equal to, what was the value? Here it has come HA minus HB 7.41 multiplied by 9810, and you will get the answer as
72.62 into 10 raised to 3.
69.21 Newton per meter square. So if you look at the both answers here,
92.1.
Correct. So both answers are same answers. 72, 69 आणि तो किती आलं तो
2 नंतर पॉइंट येते सर.
काय प्रॉब्लेम झालाय?
नहीं सर सेम है ना 27.69 into 10 raised to 3 kilonewton per meter.
2769.21 आणि इथं खालच्या ह्याच्यामध्ये इथं काय म्हणजे खालचा पॉईंट तेच चुकला का माझा मग खालच्या ह्याच्यामध्ये?
नाही सर बरोबर आहे 72.69
नाही.
तसंच येतं.
नाही इथं 2 एक्स्ट्रा आले ना इकडे पॉईंटच्या अगोदर लागले.
तर 7.41 into 9810 केलं तरी तेवढंच येते 72692.1.
हा राईट सी हिअर मी इथं कॅल्क्युलेशन करताना माझं चुकलेलं आहे 7.41 into 9810 राईट. कॅल्क्युलेशन करताना मी एक 0 शेवटचा घ्यायचा राहिला होता माझा हा 0 घ्यायचा राहिला होता. सो इट हॅज कम सेम आन्सर. ओके 72692.1 Newton per meter square and this also answer is same. So you can use any one method and solve the problem. Let us check what the answer we have got here. Yes, the same answer is it is written in kilonewton. Okay. So I think everyone understood how to solve this problem. Again, there is another problem is here. So now here we will have the practice of these problems. We can do it afterwards. So there are certain questions have been asked in examination December 2018 for 5 marks. So this question has been asked. Again, this is the question it was asked in December 2016 for 6 marks. Again, this is the question it was asked in December 2017 for 5 marks. So there are different questions are there that we have to do the practice of this, right?
Hello, sir.
Yes, your voice not.
सर ते आत्ताच्या प्रॉब्लेम मधलं किलो न्यूटन मध्ये कन्वर्जन सांग.
Kilonewton मध्ये just we have to divide it by 1000. Whatever the value you have got there, जे आपलं उत्तर आलेलं त्याला काय करायचं 1000 डिवाइड करायचं. You have got the answer 72692.1, right? Newton per meter square. Just divide it by 1000 and you will get 72.69 kilonewton per meter square. So your answer. Not much difficult part. So I think we will have the practice of these problems afterwards, or should we take it right now only? Because I have to cover. Okay, we will see this theory part first, and then we will solve the problems. Okay, remaining problems. Because we are lagging much behind the syllabus. So after that, we are going to start the second subtopic from this unit, that is hydrostatic forces on the surface, right? So before that, I will take this Bourdon to pressure gauge, and then if time permits, we will have the practice of the differentiated manometer problems. Okay. So write on the title in your notebook, Bourdon to pressure gauge. So in the title, measurement of the pressure or pressure measurement, we have seen there are basically 2 devices which are used for measurement of the pressure. One is called as the manometer and second one is called as the pressure gauges. In the pressure gauge, we have seen in manometers, we have seen different types of manometers, simple manometers and differential manometers. In simple manometers, we have seen piezometer, then simperative manometer, then single column manometer we have seen, and then a differential manometer we have seen 2 types of the manometers like U-tube differential manometer and inverted U-tube manometers, right? So now here in pressure gauges we have studied there are various kinds of pressure gauges, like Bourdon to pressure gauge is there, then Bellows pressure gauge is there, deadweight pressure gauge is there, and diaphragm pressure gauge. So out of that, Bourdon to pressure gauge is most commonly used, and its working and principle that we are going to study right now. Bourdon to pressure gauge is the type of the device pressure gauge we are studying here. And this is the diagram, or you can say construction of this Bourdon to pressure gauge. Okay. You might have seen this pressure gauge. Yes, we have seen in the first practical. I have shown you the pressure gauge, Bourdon to pressure gauge, the image of the Bourdon to pressure gauge. So this is the inner part of this Bourdon to pressure gauge. Now you can see In the video also, I am going to show you the working of this Bourdon tube pressure gauge. So don't worry about that. This rough diagram. This is the tube, which is called as the Bourdon tube. This is the metallic tube, which is open from one end and closed in the another end. Okay. Itun open ahe. This tube is open here, but it is closed here in the other side of the tube. Okay. This is the metallic, flexible metallic tube. It is flexible, means its shape, it can be changed. It is flexible. It is elliptical in cross section. As a cross section circular, it is somewhat elliptical. Okay. And when this end of the Bourdon tube pressure gauge, other end of the tube, it is connected with this link to this particular, what I can say, rack and pinion arrangement. Okay. So, and this is connected with this pointer. This pointer is visible from the outside screen work appeal. Okay. This scale is also visible to us from the outside on the screen. But this tube and inner mechanism, it is not visible to us from the outside. Okay, it is internal parts. Okay. This is the Bourdon tube. When any liquid, when we attach this Bourdon tube pressure gauge to any of the pressurized system, for example, if you attach this Bourdon tube to the pipe in which the liquid is flowing under high pressure, so when we attach it, at that time, what is going to happen? The fluid which is under pressure, it will enter inside this tube and it will move here like this and it will reach up to this point. But here there is no scope or space for further moving ahead. So what is going to happen? This is going to generate the pressure inside this tube. So how much pressure it will generate inside the tube? As much pressure is there inside the pipe, that much pressure only it will create, because we have learned the Pascal's law. What Pascal's law says, in a closed system, pressure in the closed system, it is same everywhere. So whatever the pressure intensity is here inside this pipe, the same pressure intensity we will get here inside this tube. And because of this pressure intensity, what is going to happen? As this tube is flexible, it will try to become straight. Okay, he अशी कशी आपण हे curved shape मध्ये, but because of its tendency under high pressure, it will try to become straight. अशी बाहेर ओढण्याचा प्रयत्न करते. You might have seen एक फ्लेक्झिबल आपण जर नळी घेतली, एखादी पाईप घेतला, रबरची असेल किंवा प्लास्टिकची असेल, आणि त्याच्यामध्ये आपण जर पाणी भरलं किंवा आपण हवेने जरी आपण फुकलं, त्याचा एंड अदर एंड जर क्लोज असेल, तर काय होतं, जे वाकडे तिकडे जी नळी असते ते स्ट्रेट होण्याचा प्रयत्न करते. राईट. द सेम थिंग हॅपन्स हिअर फॉर दिस पर्टिक्युलर फ्लेक्झिबल ट्यूब. इट ट्राय टू बिकम स्ट्रेट अँड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस नेचर इट्स मुवमेंट, ही जी लिंकेज आहे, ही लिंकेज पाठीमागे ओढली जाते. आणि हे जे या ठिकाणी पॉइंटर आपण ह्या कनेक्ट केलेला आहे, ओके, पिनियन, हे या ठिकाणी मोशन होते याची, आणि हा मूव्ह झाला की या ठिकाणी हा पॉइंटर पण या ठिकाणी मूव्ह व्हायला लागतो. अँड इट शोज द रीडिंग ऑन दिस स्केल. So this is the working principle behind this Bourdon tube pressure gauge. It's a simple working that I will show you here through the video.
In this media, you will learn about the work.
Is the screen visible to all?
Working of
Yes,
Bourdon tube pressure gauge.
Is it visible to you?
Bourdon tube pressure gauge is used to measure the
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
pressure of gas or fluid.
See here, आपण वरून पाहिल्यानंतर आपल्याला काय दिसतं, एक पॉइंटर दिसतो आणि हे रीडिंग्स फक्त आपल्याला दिसतात, ग्रॅज्युएटेड स्केल्स, पण त्याच्या आतलं मेकॅनिझम आपल्याला माहित पाहिजे. दिस इज द ओपन एंड ऑफ द
Consists
ट्यूब.
of Bourdon tube.
This is the inner mechanism of the Bourdon tube pressure gauge.
C-shaped tube is commonly used.
This is the
The
Bourdon tube.
movable end of the tube is sealed and the other end is fixed to the vessel containing fluid under pressure. Socket. It is made up of brass or steel and it acts as connector to the source of the pressure medium. It also helps in mounting the case, dial, and a slot for attaching one end of the Bourdon tube. The end of the socket is threaded to connect the gauge with other instruments.
Threads are there to
Movement
connect.
mechanism. Movement mechanism has mechanical linkage, sector gear, and a pointer. The gear mechanism converts the Borden tube's expansion in the rotating movement, and it makes the pointer to move on the dial. Pointer. The pointer is made up of thin metal. It is attached to the rotating shaft. The dial is calibrated and it is covered by glass with the help of bezel. The vessel containing fluid under pressure is connected to the pressure gauge through the socket. The difference in pressure makes the tube to stretch.
See here, you can see this tube, it is
The
becoming
change in
straight.
pressure moves the closed end of the tube, which in turn deflects the pointer with the help of gear mechanism. When the pressure is released, the tube regains its original shape. Thus, you have learned about the working of Borden tube pressure gauge.
So this was the working of this Borden tube pressure gauge. Everyone understood how it works? So
Yes, sir.
this is the construction and working explained here. What are the advantages? Why it is so popular, Borden tube pressure gauge? The reason behind that it is simple in construction. Okay, then cost is low. Then it is safe for the high pressure measurement, and its accuracy is high, especially at the higher pressure. So these are the main reasons behind, or the advantages behind its popularity. And whenever you go to check your air in the tires, so at that time, whatever the device we use, that is the Borden tube pressure gauge, so which is mostly commonly used. So this was about the theory about this Borden tube pressure gauge, right? Now let us try to solve. There are 10 minutes more. We will solve more problems here. We will have the practice of solving the problems. Just now we have solved this problem. Let us solve this problem. Let us write down this problem. U-tube differential manometer is connected to a horizontal pipe. U-tube differential manometer is connected to a horizontal pipe carrying carrying water at 2 points A and B, carrying water at 2 points A and B. The difference in the mercury level in two limbs, the difference in the mercury level in the two limbs is 0.35 meter. Calculate pressure difference at A and B in kilonewton per meter square. See, in this problem, the diagram is not given. Whatever the diagram you are seeing here, it is the diagram in the from the answer. So first write down the problem. Try to draw the diagram. See here, it is mentioned that pipe is horizontal. So the level of the two pipes which you are showing in the diagram, you can show it like this, two sections of the pipe at the same level, or you can prefer to draw the diagram of only one pipe. You can choose like that. For example, this is the horizontal pipe. Okay, and here manometers you can draw. Either you can draw the diagram like this, or you can show two circles. This is the lower level. This is the higher level. Okay. This is the manometric fluid. Present here. Let us call this as a point point A, and this is point B. Okay. Now here, let us read the problem once again. U-tube differential manometer is connected to a horizontal pipe carrying water at 2 points A and B. The difference in the mercury level in the two limb is 0.35 meter. Difference in the mercury. So this lower level and this higher level, these are having the difference of 0.35 meter. Okay, you can call this as a H2. H2 is equal to 0.3 meter. Calculate the pressure between difference between 2 points A and B. Now they have not given us what is the value of H1. H1 जो आहे H1 आपल्याला दिलेला नाहीये. They have not given the value of H3. Okay, and they have asked us to find out what is the difference between PA and PB. So we have to find out here what is PA minus PB. This value we have to find out. Can anyone tell me how to solve this? See, to solve this problem, we have to go for this formula HA minus HB, right? So HA minus HB is equal to what is the formula? H2 plus H3 plus H2 S2 H3 S3 minus H1 S1. This is our formula. We use this formula to find out what is HA minus HB, and then we multiply this value HA minus HB by gamma W to get the value of PA minus PB, right? But to find out this HA minus HB, we must know the value of H1, H2, H3, S1, S2, S3. Now, as there is a mercury here, we can say that S2 value is 13.6, and water is flowing through the pipe. So we can say that S1 and S3 values are same, and that is equal to 1. So we have the values of S1, S2, S3, but we don't have the value of H1 and H3. H2 is known to us. It is 0.35 meter. It is given a difference in the mercury. How to solve it? Because we have only one equation and there are two unknowns, H1, H3, and only one equation. Is it possible to find it?
PA minus PB is equal to gamma 2. तो formula use करो.
PA minus PB is equal to. But again, you will require values of H1, H2, H3 there, na? Because in this formula also, if you look, there is a H2 is there, then gamma 3 H3 is there, minus gamma 1 H1 is there. So H1, H2, H3, these are required in this formula also. See here, the logic behind solving this kind of problem is that this pipe is horizontal, means this line and this datum line, these are parallel lines, right? And if I take here, instead of H1 and H3, I will use only one notation. H1 is equal to, let us say, I will call it as a X value. Okay. So therefore, instead of writing this H3, what I can write, because these two lines are parallel line. So we know that if it is X value, okay, the distance between these two lines is X, then I can write here X is equal to this value, H3 च्या ऐवजी. This is Y, right? Y plus it is 0.35, right? 0.35. So या ठिकाणी हे Y जे आहे ते Y च्या ऐवजी आपल्याला काय लिहिता येईल? Instead of Y, I can write here X minus 0.35, बरोबर आहे? किंवा H3 जो आहे, H3 च्या ऐवजी मला काय लिहिता येईल? X minus 0.35 याच्या ऐवजी. So the same thing that we do here. जर हा पाईप हॉरिझॉन्टल नसता तर त्या केसमध्ये प्रॉब्लेम सोडवायचं पॉसिबल नाहीये. But as this pipe is horizontal and this is the datum line, both are parallel. So instead of using this H1, I can use the notation X here. Okay. So what I can write here, gamma 2, it will be 13.6 into 9810 into H2 0.35 plus gamma 3, that is 9810 into, instead of H3, now I can write here, it is X minus 0.35, okay, minus gamma 1, that is again 9810, because water is there, into, now X1, H1 च्या ऐवजी आपण याला notation वापरलं X, okay. So there is one X here and there is another X here. So this both will get cancelled and you will get just value here. So याचं multiplication करा. याचं multiplication केलं तर आपल्याला काय भेटेल? 9810x. Okay. This is the plus value minus 9810x. So this will get cancelled with this one because it is minus here and plus here. So here plus 9810 minus 0.35. Are you getting my point? So do that calculation part. I am using this method first here. Okay. You can use this method or you can use this method also. Any one method can be used. Here you will get directly pressure value, pressure intensity value. 13.6 into 9810. Now minus this 9810 minus multiplied by 0.13. 9810 into 0.35, and you will get here the answer as 12998.5 Newton per meter square. So it is asked to find answer in kilonewton. So divided by 1000, you will get 129.98 kilonewton per meter square. Have you got the same answer? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So instead of using this method, I will solve this problem by other method. Now here, HA minus HB is equal to, what is H2? It is 0.35 into S2 is 13.6 plus H3. Now instead of H3, what I am writing? X minus 0.35, right? S3 is 1 minus H1, it is X. So we have written here H1 is equal to X. X into S1 is equal to 1 because water is same fluid is there here also and here also because same pipe is there. So here is equal to 0.35 into 13.6. I will get here the value 4.76 plus X minus 0.35. एकने multiply केलं तर same value आपल्याला भेटेल minus X. So this X will get cancelled here. and I will get HA minus HB is equal to 4.76 minus 0.35 is equal to 4.41 meter of water. This is HA minus HB. So PA minus PB is equal to, multiply this 4.41 by 9810 is equal to, tell me whether you are getting the same answer.
43262.1.
4326.
2.1.
So in kilonewton it will be
43.
you got the same answer or different?
Different, sir.
We are getting different values. So why we are getting the different answer? X minus 0.35 x into 1. PA minus PB is equal to gamma 2. It is
सर मागचे सॉल्व केलं ना आपण आधी त्याच्यामध्ये फर्स्ट याच्यामध्ये 0.35 इंटू 9810 राहिलं होतं.
speak loudly.
जे लास्ट स्टेपने सॉल्व केलं ना त्याच्यामध्ये मेथडने लास्ट मेथड आधी याच्या आधीच्या.
Your voice is not reaching to me. Okay. 0.35. Let me solve it by.
Same answer it is, sir.
I think previous problem there might be some mistake. 98.
Yes, sir. 9810 into 0.35 राहिलं होतं.
0.35.
हो सर.
10 into 0.35. Correct. In previous problem, it was remain that part because here formula was gamma 2H2, right, plus gamma 3H3 minus gamma 1H1. So gamma 3H3, gamma 2H2 was 13.6 into 9810 into 0.35 plus here gamma 3, that is 9810 into H3 was x minus 0.35, right, minus 9810, that is gamma 1 into H1 is x, right. So 9810x, 9810x, it will get cancelled here, and this value minus 9810 into 0.35 हा पार्ट आपला त्या ठिकाणी सबट्रॅक्ट करायचा राहिला होता. So do the calculation now and you will get the same answer. 13.6 into 9810 into 0.35 minus 9810 into 0.35, 43262, correct, same answer you are getting here. So 43262.1, it is in kilonewton. If you divide it by 1000, you will get 43.26. That will be your answers. 43.26 kilonewton per meter square. Time is over. I think your next lecture has started. It might be. I will take your attendance quickly and then you can leave the session. Thank you for your patience listening.